Clean up.
Yeah, that's right. And who's gonna be speaking to the resolution for the Safe Routes to School application that went through on last minute?
Safe Routes to School or the ODNR?
Sorry, I saw something on here. Safe Routes.
There is a safe house on there.
Yeah, I thought I saw Safe Routes. And there's a resolution for Safe Routes and there's a resolution for the DNR.
Yep.
Okay, I will.
Second, these two. Oh, yeah, let's go to the one. About the village instruction for the sidewalk project. Let's go for that one.
Do I need to go over that?
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for granting us the privilege to meet tonight. We ask for your blessing, wisdom, and guidance as we conduct the business of the village. Amen. Roll call. Fisher?
Yes.
Percy?
Yes.
Crowe? Maple?
Yes.
Mauer?
Yes.
Yoho?
Yes.
Nobody is absent. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the January 12th, 2026 regular meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the January 12th, 2026 regular council meeting.
Second. Point of order. I'm gonna bring that up because it's not accurate. The minutes state that the resolution did not pass, regarding, something that I wanted to talk about during that meeting. And did not pass during the meeting, and then stated later, that it was determined to have passed following discussion the following day. Since we talked about Robert's rules was mentioned, I decided to take it upon myself to learn as much about that as I could. So the minutes must reflect what occurred during the meeting. Post-meeting interpretations or determinations can't be included in a meeting action. So I think the minutes be corrected for accuracy before approval.
Sure. So you're just requesting that clause be removed in there as far as?
Well, just that it reflects accurately. That's the one thing that particularly bothered me. However, the other thing that was, the other business was never called during that meeting. It went straight from the discussion on that one item to an adjournment, and that's when I piped up and wanted to get that part, and that's why I put that in. And I'm only doing that not to be difficult, but it's not corrected. It expose the village to legal challenges, some sidewalls, or and credibility issues.
Ron, you're on speakerphone. Okay.
Do you want to come up here in the middle so everybody can hear you? Everybody's gonna hear you, Joel. I'm back in the middle of the table. Same thing. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm back.
So, that was my only thing that would be corrected to reflect it, just protection for us.
Okay, so just make sure that, I want to make sure I'm getting it properly. So you're requesting that, the part be removed about other business, because we did call for other business at the end of the meeting.
Exactly.
Okay? And then as far as the resolution being passed,
That,
to remove the part, because I put the roll call in there as far as how it was called.
yeah, but there's a note that says there's further discussion following,
So just to remove
and
that.
that should not be,
Okay.
that should not be included in something that was not approved.
Okay, yep. Okay, I will make that correction and bring it back to the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the State of the Village Address. Good evening and Happy New Year. Thank you to our council members, village staff, department heads, volunteers, partners, and residents for being here. We appreciate your time, your commitment, and our belief in our village. As we reflect on the last year, I want to begin with gratitude. We accomplished a great deal, often with limited resources and tight deadlines. These successes didn't happen by accident. They they happen because of teamwork, dedication, and a shared commitment to moving forward in West Lafayette. Most of our important progress this year came from work that isn't always visible, but is absolutely essential. We updated outdated village contracts, bringing clarity, accountability, and more realistic budgets for our future needs. We also had a major change in our IT service, moving to a provider better suited to our village. That decision alone saved over $1,000 a month while improving security and performance. Another major change was implementing village-wide trash service with Rumpke. This saved money, simplified operations, and helped clean up our community. Each resident now has access to 2 cubic yards of disposal a week, reducing illegal dumping and neighborhood clutter. Infrastructure, especially stormwater and sewer, has been a major focus. We completed a stormwater study and GIS mapping are near completion of the sewer outfall project to increase capacity and to continue planning improvements that will better protect homes during heavy rain events. While much of this work happens underground, it is critical for long-term health of our village. Our street department continues to do exceptional work on a very tight budget. They repair equipment rather than replace it whenever possible, maintain our streets, and take on additional mowing to support other departments, use existing equipment to avoid outside costs, and repair 10 older storm drains alone this year, saving significant taxpayer dollars. Public safety remains a top priority under Chief Eckleberry's leadership. The police department had a wonderful year. The department added a 2024-44, completed over 8,100 proactive business checks, reduced overtime by thousands, secured grant funding for equipment, and upgraded tasers and body cams through new Axon contract. Community events like the Easter egg hunt and community block program continue to build strength and trust and connection with our residents and neighbors. Our fire department responded to 233 calls for service in 2025 and continues to serve with professionalism and dedication. Through grants, fundraising at the department, purchased new radios, a new side-by-side vehicle, and donated over 300 smoke detectors to residents. These efforts save lives, and we are deeply grateful for their service for the community's continued support. They jumped into action to help groups with community events like Halloween party, block party, and homecoming. We appreciate your teamwork efforts and energy in all the ways you give back. One highlight this year that deserves special recognition is our Eagle Scouts. The new entry signs are phenomenal. They represent pride, initiative, and what's possible when someone sees a need and chooses to act. These projects leave a lasting mark on our community, and we are very grateful. Behind all of this work is the strong administrative leadership. Village Administrator Tammy Hicks-Linden continues to expand grant capacity, stretch local match dollars, and manage complex projects beyond the scope of her initial job description. Fiscal Officer Amy Bourne manages her increasingly complex budgets and grant platforms with accuracy and care, strengthens our accountability across all departments. While we are proud of what we've accomplished, looking ahead is just as important. Our focus now must be on stronger planning, developing a clear 5-year roadmap to help us prioritize, prepare, and compete more effectively for funding while protecting staff time and resources. I remain confident in the village. When we work together with purpose and accountability, we make real progress. From our staff and officers to our Eagle Scouts to the residents who deeply care about this community, we are moving forward together. Thank you for your dedication and partnership. I look forward to a stronger future with West Lafayette together. I don't have any citizens' comments, so moving on to the committee reports. Building and property.
Tonight we updated on the King Street property issue, continuing to gather Federal Reserve. Also discussed a property owner issue brought up by a business manager in town. We'll be notifying the owner of responsibilities and site if needed.
Community business development.
We discussed a series that I want to start for local businesses and those looking to come to West Lafayette to consider opening up a new business. I think we've got a lot of potential here for growth, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. But before we attract new businesses, we make sure that our current businesses are also sustainable. So the Business Survivor Series that we discussed has to do with building their ability to handle everyday issues that they'll face. Maybe they can think about starting a business, understanding why they're starting that business, the challenges they're going to face, including whether or not certain communities can support the business that they are wanting to be a part of. So just a miniature hour and a half each session to help them hopefully become sustainable as we try to support them in every way we can, and not just inviting people, but giving them the resources they need intellectually and through the business knowledge of others that have been there and done that to help them succeed.
Okay. Community relations.
On January the 19th, we RWL met and reorganized their officers for 2026. They discussed the Lisa Flag program, flowers for Main Street, and different projects for that. A banner lease program, banners that would say WL on them or West Lafayette on them, and maybe possibly they're selling them already, for seniors. That would be up March through May, and monies would go towards Christmas decorations and banners. They're planning a golf outing for April the 4th. There are still funds available through the TNR program, if anybody's wanting to get their feral cats taken care of. And they're talking about events like partner with the rec board for Family Fun Day. Maybe with that would be wiffle ball, food trucks, block party, just a variety of things going on. The Chamber of Commerce was supposed to be tonight and that got canceled until February 24th. But community yard sales are May 1st and 2nd and September 4th and 5th, with more event dates to follow.
Okay. Community revitalization.
That committee met on January the 15th. Topics were parks, pickleball at Waterworks, pool house, softball, parking lot, middle school parking lot, community garden, curbside recycling, businesses, maybe a deli, a hardware store, side-by-side repair parts, tire service, homecoming, help with getting more vendors, maybe a talent show, car show, something like that. Christmas decor, hanging flowers, lighting display contest, and just a little bit of everything. So,
Okay. And you'll be reaching out with the next meeting when you decide
yeah,
to have this?
yes.
All right, moving on to finance.
Finance, the only thing I know tonight is we need to approve the bills for payment as soon as they've been around, so, yeah.
Okay. Fire Dependency Board.
Oh, that's you.
Well, it's kind of a
I was on a roll here, you know?
the Fire Dependency Board did meet, January 14th at 5 p.m. at the fire department, the station house. And, everything's kind of the same as last year. Glenn Hill's still president. Councilwoman Mauer will still be secretary. Travis Webb's still on the board. There's a couple others. They were short a couple people just because of emergency call that was earlier that day. That was the day that they had the grade rescue, which was kind of exciting. So, and fortunately, they succeeded. So, but everything's kosher. We're up to date, and there possibly will be another meeting midsummer later. More details later on that one.
Okay. Ordinance.
Nothing new tonight. We did talk a little bit about bringing up some additional ordinances that may need some review. So if something comes to mind to anyone else, let us know and we'll take a look at it.
Park Board.
Nothing tonight.
Planning Commission Local.
Nothing tonight.
Planning Commission County. No dates yet. Public Safety.
Obviously, the snowstorm that happened Sunday, the street department started plowing around 5 a.m. and they continuously plowed all day and treated until about noon, and then the sewer guys took over until about 10 o'clock that night. And in my opinion, I think they did an absolutely excellent job considering the conditions. I don't think we could have asked for clearer roads given what kind of storm that was. So kudos to all those guys. Also want to remind residents that where possible, we understand that it's not always possible, please park off the street to make snow removal more efficient. Have a noted here, some people were concerned and have made comments about, well, they never plow when this happens or this happens. For us to plow, there must be at least 2 to 3 inches of snow to avoid damage to equipment and the streets. The intersections are salted instead of the entire street due to cost. The salt is very expensive and limited in supply, and the funds to buy more salt are also very limited. And so it was brought up that we could start to explore different options and feasibility, different things other than salt. So we're going to look into that. A reminder that clearing sidewalks of snow is the property owner's responsibility, whether it be residential or commercial. And that was about it.
Okay, Public Works.
Oh, Public Works, we've met, seems like all evening tonight to discuss some of the issues we had. First topic that came up, we had, excuse me, Michael Fitton from the owner of Fairview Manor come in with a major issue with his water lines. There's a bus somewhere that he's unable to locate, and with the given weather conditions and everything, he has asked us for a little bit of leniency on the sewer charge. We did review the sewer usage. We're not seeing the increase that he's being charged for. So after some discussion, we kind of came to the conclusion, was it 40,000 or 40,000 cubic feet? Yeah, I have time right now. That doesn't make sense. So that's a lot. 40,000 cubic feet of usage. Cap his rates at 40,000 cubic feet for the next basically 5 months, giving him till May when the weather breaks to have a plan for completion. We can review it then at that time to see if there's a need, or if he gets it fixed sooner, he will let us know as well. I do need a roll call vote on that. So I'd like to make a motion to present a temporary cap at 40,000 cubic feet for Fairview Manor.
Maple,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Mauer,
Yes.
Yoho,
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking that's done. We have an update on the sewer outfall project. It's come along really well, even though the cold weather has stopped us, but we do have a completion expectation of roughly around the end of February, but given the weather, I can see that getting pushed out. Also, we discussed about the sidewalk funding and how we've been able to do what we've done these past couple of years with the sidewalk. To give a little bit of clarification of that, I don't know what it was, but years ago, we had an increase of the income tax from 1% to 1.5%. And that has been going into an account that has kind of built up over the years, and that's how we've been able to have a more aggressive approach with the sidewalks now. But as that dwindles down, that account usually accumulates about $295,000 yearly. We do have a resolution on the table tonight to pay for the 2026 projects, which with the 10% variance is approximately about $288,000. But again, that's all funded out of the income tax fund that was created, whatever year, 2012. So, thank you. Village Cleanup Day will be April 18th. The Boy Scouts are helping with that. So, as of right now, April 18th will be Village Cleanup. Dumpsters out here again. It's a great opportunity to get rid of large items or just clean off the back porch.
Okay. Let's see, records retention,
Nothing, nothing needs scheduling in here soon, but
yeah, rules,
Nothing to know.
okay. Departments, fire's not here, fiscal officer,
I'll first touch on the legislation that we have on the agenda for this evening. First of all, resolution 2026-03 will receive its second reading tonight, and that is to authorize us to sell our obsolete or surplus items in the village on Bell Deals. That's an annual resolution that we pass, and then we publicize that so the public does know where to find those items when we put them out for sale. Resolution 2026-05 will also receive its second reading, and that is to appoint James Skelton as our non-paid assistant to our village solicitor. And next on the list is resolution 2026-06, and that'll receive its first reading tonight. A little bit of explanation on that one was provided in the council packets, but on an annual basis, we create what's called a blanket purchase order for many of our vendors, and we have one for the fire department with Advantech Service and Parts, and they do tap into that purchase order frequently throughout the year for service and parts at their facility. So last year, there were a couple of invoices that didn't get passed through before the end of the year. They were dated November, and typically they would have fallen under that 2025 purchase order, that blanket purchase order to cover those expenses. But since they were not discovered and presented to us until 2026, they're considered a then and now. So we did not have the funds encumbered in time to cover the invoice for November, since it was already closed out for the year. So I'm requesting council's approval to move forward to pay that then and now purchase order. The total comes to $2,694.57. That's between two different invoices that had invoice dates of November. I would like to request that we waive the 3 readings for that tonight and pass that this evening as an emergency, just so, since it is already past due, so that we can hope to avoid any late charges on that invoice moving forward and have that paid in a timely manner. Any questions on that? Okay. Next on the list is, let's see here. I think Tammy, you're speaking to 07 and to 08 and 09. Okay, I guess that's all the legislation I need to speak to tonight. Those have been passed around for approval, and that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
police, do you have anything tonight?
No.
Okay. Joel, do you have anything tonight? Okay. Village administrator.
Good evening. I will just touch on the resolutions that we have before you. Resolution 2026-07 is a resolution authorizing Amy and myself to sign and execute all the documents necessary with new Philly construction and concrete for the 2026 sidewalk upgrades. And that's first reading and declaring an emergency on that. Then resolution 2026-08 is authorizing the mayor and, the mayor of the village, hereinafter referred to as the local public agency, to prepare and submit an application to the Safe Routes to School program. And that's first reading. Is that, emergency tonight?
Yeah, it's declared emergency. It'll go 3 readings, but due to the application
Yes.
deadline,
Be effective
it
on
needs to
that.
be effective on the signing date.
And then 2026-09 is a resolution, by the council of the village to authorize the mayor to submit a grant application with Ohio Department of Natural Resources for the Clean Ohio Trails Fund. And once the grant's received, further authorizing the mayor to execute contract and all related documents. And authorizing us to accept any money and grant money awarded to the village. And that's declaring an emergency due to the deadline. The deadline to apply to that is the March 16th. So I believe it can go through, but then be effective regular.
Yeah.
And that's it for that.
Okay. Moving on to the introduction of ordinances and resolutions. 2026-03, a resolution authorizing the sale by internet auction during calendar year 2026 of municipally owned personal property which is not needed for public use or which is obsolete or unfit for the use in which it was acquired pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15D. This is the second reading. 2026-05, a resolution appointing James Skelton as a non-lead assistant, authorizing to prosecute, litigate, negotiate, advise, and resolve criminal cases filed under village ordinances. This is the second reading. 2026-06, a resolution to approve purchase order 26131 to Advanced Services and Parts LLC, and then and now purchase order and declaring this an emergency.
Motion to suspend the rules and the 3 required readings for resolution 2026-06.
Second.
Fisher,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Maple,
Yes.
Yoho,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
Motion to adopt resolution 2026-06.
Second.
Maple,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Yoho,
No.
Fisher,
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
Coe,
2026-07, a resolution authorizing the fiscal officer and/or village administrator to sign and execute all documents necessary with Newfield and Concrete and Construction for the 2026 Village Sidewalk Upgrades Project. This is the first reading and an emergency.
So we need to wait. Okay. Motion to suspend the rules and the 3 required readings for resolution 2026-07.
Second.
Fisher,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Maple,
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
Yoho,
No.
Motion to adopt resolution 2026-07.
Second.
Maple,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Yoho,
No.
2026-08, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of West Lafayette, hereinafter referred to as the local public agency, to prepare and submit an application for the Safe Routes to School program. This is a first reading and an emergency. 2026-09, a resolution by the council of the village of West Lafayette, Coshocton County, Ohio, authorizing and directing the village mayor to submit a grant application with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for the Clean Ohio Trail Funds, COTF, and once the grant is received, further authorizing the village mayor to execute the grant contract and all related documents, and authorizing the village of West Lafayette to accept any money awarded to the village of West Lafayette and declaring an emergency. Any other business?
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Bauer,
Yes.
Yoho,
Yes.
Maple,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
Motion to, I just need a motion to adjourn.
That's what I said, not executive or anything.
Nope.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
You look like the meeting.
Yoho,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Maple,
Yes.
Coe, Percy,
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
We've had a long shift since Saturday.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you. Have a good one. You too.